Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing the Pillars of Eternity. Well, last episode we kind of half accidentally killed a dragon. We killed some Rimmergun's worshippers in Noonfrost, because that's what we do. We need to find some birds for the pod, so he can eat those to get her voice back. I don't think it works like that, but anyhow, I think we might try and check one here and maybe one in Elmshaw. I'm probably doing it now. Then we went to the Hall of Warriors and pretty much slaughtered everyone in there because, yeah, there was this Cymerk person and he had a proposal that I sacrifice his adopted daughter, so yeah, so he told me he's found a way to endow his next child with a stronger soul. It wasn't really that proposition that really made me to kill him. It was just because I really didn't like his attitude. And as it says here, this old Anamfad had lived past his time. Yeah, I agree with that. So, little fresh blood to the engine, I would say, yes. So first things first, we are going here and check for the bird. I did sleep, sell stuff. I got around 25,000 copper. All the stuff I had. The child will rise to lead Cymerk's tribe. Somebody rises. I think so. I kind of wouldn't like to take the birds to the person, but I kind of do what lenses. Sell me
Many
your bird.
blessings, traveler.
Delem sent me to collect a rare songbird. She stares at you blankly for a moment before shaking her head. That fop Delem sent you? No, absolutely not. Eating my beloved pet won't grant that fool musical prowess. The only thing he'll get is an upset stomach and the pain of passing a beak. There's a forest full of birds. Mine's not for sale. I agree. Killing your bird seems unnecessary. Why would Delem believe that eating birds will help? Animals aren't ours to cage. I don't think you or Delem should have it. The bird should be free, deceptive. So, yeah, I would say that. Then I'll promise to free the bird and take it to Delem. Such a fragile little thing. Perhaps I should tear it down the middle and give half to Delem and half to you. Steady on. I might be cruel, but that's not okay. So why would he believe that eating birds will help? All folklore gone awry, she mutters, rocking his resignation. Allans, particularly those raised in the forest, still seem to believe that by eating noteworthy creatures, they can gain the desirable traits of their prey. It's false. Eating a spider doesn't give you 8 legs any more than eating ivy lets you sprout berries. If Delem wants to be a better singer, he should try practice, not superstition. Well, to be honest, yeah, she has a point. I agree, killing your bird seems unnecessary. I will look elsewhere. Her face turned flush and she smiles. I'm relieved you see it my way. How would you like it if someone demanded your cherished pet as a snack? Well, I'd probably kill them. Yeah. But still, I'll probably try to find some wild birds. Or maybe I don't do that at all. I don't know. Really don't know. Why does it tell me about bestiary there? So let's go and check the Elmshaw. Because I gotta think where I might find at least one bird. Maybe. I'm thinking this. It's pretty huge. And definitely something where one of those birds might be. Or not. So, I don't know. Not here. How about here then? Ah. Here we have one. In the Lacan concave, the iridescent green feathers of this bird resemble crystalline scales. When startled, it completely freezes on the spot, only to resume its slow singing once it feels safe again. Oh, bloody hell. I don't think I will do that quest. I don't need the XP or the money. If she can't sing, then there's that.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Thank you. So I'll go to the Elm's Reach and we start continuing doing stuff in there. I'll see if I can go back to the person and tell him that, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So I'll probably want to check the Golden Grove first. I could go and check the Blood Sands after that, and then we go there Erona, because the main mission continues there. Yeah, that seems like a plan. Oh, but yeah, that's the plan. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Let's move on and see what we can see. Did I? Nah, I don't want to check that. It doesn't really matter. So what the hell is this? Ledha? Okay, who are you?
Hail, Estramor.
The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Ah. Welcome, Estramor. I got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels or something to make them more interesting. When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. White leaf. Nice way to spend an afternoon and the following night and most of the next day. I hear that you can make certain poisons. I don't know why I'm asking that, but I might as well ask it. She takes a deep draw on her pipe. Poisons. I only deal in tonics that heal and enlighten. She exhales a puff of smoke. Of course, many beneficial substances can be harmful when taken in great quantities, but that's just Verita's way of keeping all things in balance. Really? What kind of substances? She leans against the winding tree trunk and ticks the item off on her fingers. Items. Oh, there's plenty. Concentrated Carogolan, undistilled spider venom. Makes sense. Rotten blood moss extract. Cave coral mixed with skein bone. I'd like to some concentrated Carogolan. Why? I'm not certain what the hell we are doing now. Gargolan. She stops counting and scratches her head. What would you want with something like that? Huh? Well, my friend Stelgar is dying and he wants to ease the creature's passing. Shrug. I just thought I'd experiment with it and then see what happens. I'll go with the first one. Porting. Here, take this. It works slowly, but this will send him back to the cycle kindly enough. Just see that it doesn't get misplaced. Half that dose would kill an Aumaua. Was there anything else I can do for you? Well, I like to see your stocks, and I can't read today, so I do apologize. I have no idea why we wanted poison. Apparently it is for something which we don't know anything about right now. Tamrun.
Many blessings, traveler.
Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. If you are in need of services, speak with Bloodharsh. He will see to your concerns. So what can you tell me of the Golden Grove? We are naturalists, philosophers, herbalists, and teachers. The Ovates of the Golden Grove know that true wisdom comes from the study of the natural order. We endeavor to teach others to explore the world for themselves. Sure. And this is the bark feels warm. The roots almost seem to twine around your hand. So where would this lead? Nowhere. Fine. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the trees. Icewind. Okay, let's talk to him, whoever he might be. An elf with the placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler. Thank you.
Estramore?
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalist or simply to bask in Veritas' glory? Who leads your order? High Ovate Erona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength, however. She's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Erona is a mighty elm among us. She lived for generations. There are none who understands the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. I'd like to know more about Erona. Why? You must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led our order from the beginning. Yet she walks among us and gives freely of herself. That is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. Tell me about the Golden Grove. We are the Ovates, druids, philosophers, and students of nature. Yeah, I heard that before. We gather here to share our knowledge and celebration. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Let her understand the cures and poisons of the nature like no other. So what do you believe? We believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path than devotion. I must go. Okay, so for some reason we wanted a poison. We do have a poison. I have no idea.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara ex Incios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honor me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court.
How would we reach her?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
But how would we get Iovara to move to Oceanus?
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Spit it out, man. Okay. He didn't spit it out. I guess we betrayed Iovara, who in this world is or was our lover. Okay, what now? So they appeared from the green puff. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, rich and scaly, weathered in a curling tangle of roots, buds and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves like drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia. Or worms.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
I have killed people for less.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled no more. It would pay the debt of his predecessor.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
Honestly, I haven't decided yet. It could go, both ways. Anyways, I seek a man who came through here. It sounds as though you have already met him. Honest. I heard there was a commotion here. I came to investigate. Deceptive. My business concerns the health of this land, and you would be wise to aid me. Diplomatic. I have forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. I have begun hallucinating in double passion. I'd gladly burn this place down, but I have more pressing concerns. Cruel. That sounds nice. I'll go with that. Did I not tell you it was so, sister? We do the land a misdeed by not cutting this one down before he can join the other defiler. A diseased tree bodes ill for the growth.
Lacking in sense though he may be, we both know that he is here to find the man Theos Exarchanon. Nothing more.
That is true, yes.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
No, it's not cordial.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
So, I have problem and he's the only one who can fix it. Honest, stopping him might end the Waitman's legacy. Benevolent. He must face justice for his transgressions. Rational. He crossed me, I intend to get my revenge. Passionate. We seem to be linked and I need to know why. Stoic. And I don't fully know myself. My reasons are my own concerns. It has nothing to do with you. I can use, of course, the stoic, or honest versions, yes. Even rational. But I'll go with the stoic. We seem to be linked, and I need to know why.
Ah, so you do. I should have seen it when you first approached.
We are slipping in our advanced age, sister.
Yes, you are.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
Yeah, that's all nice and good, but I just need to get to Tails.
I am sorry to tell you this, But Theos cannot give you what you seek, nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
Okay. What she mean? I thought Mervald said. This is permanent? Charlotte's face is rigid. Sakani's gaze flickers. I'm sorry. We did not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings. To be honest. For once at least, I'm again agreeing with Durance. Rearing mother, to be chained to such past. Her face is pale, her eyes hollow. A bitter and grievous thing, watcher. So this has all been for nothing, and I'm going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
No, but I had hoped it would be something I could forget. I'd rather have tried to put things right. I would live with it if I could. That or kill the man who brought it up. I had to believe in something. I didn't have a choice. Well, tempted to go with I would live with it if I could, or that, or kill the man who brought it up. Well, that I would live with it if I could.
That is the penance we all pay. But penance cannot be paid for a past only known in fragments and glimpses. However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Sheetha?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
You underestimate me. Death may be preferable to what lies in store for me. So what is it? Don't play coy with me, just spit it out.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain.
Okay, so we need to torture Theos to get the information. Done.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
So what do I have to lose then? My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Theos, would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos' path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, sun and shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
So is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
How convenient.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
So what Do you mean with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
So what is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below.
Sounds lovely.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
Of course they are. So how would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Haha. Who would I pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
Is there no other way?
None.
How do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
Maybe I should kill a few gods. I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Tears?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that people come to these elms without knowing why. Okay. A soul has a will all its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding. Something like a beacon.
Bacon?
The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
What about both? I want to know about the two of you. Do I? I guess I do.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
How much do you pay? Well, probably I will make him pay, but not because of you, but because of me. I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Okay, so that's...
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
I won't know until I get there. I need to understand our history so it may be put to rest. Nothing more. He must be destroyed. I would return him to the wheel of life and death, so he may trouble me no more. I wish to undo the harm he has caused. I would set him on the better path. I would take his place and power for myself. Now that sounds really tempting. That or I don't know. But I would say my character would like to take his place and power.
What a sad little creature you are. You truly do belong with Theos. Go and bury yourself with him.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours. And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Right. So, pray the gods in their era. The Delemgan sisters explained that no mortal can survive the descent to Breath Airman. The gods, however, can grant me safe passage. To ask for their favor, I'll need to pray to them in the Terra Evron, where they are said to commune with mortals. So I will learn from Sita and Rian that the way into the sun in shadow lies in the Burial Isle district. There is an ancient code there that can lead me to Theos. Dorval, card and bargeman of old song, has told you that the Burial Island is unlike any other district of Twin Elms. The island is a burial ground for the Anamfads of the 6 tribes and dangerous place. Weird thing is, are we nearing to the end? Really? Huh. So what do I have left? Of course, so yes, we could petition Hylia to help us, but we're not going to do that unless we really have to. Dream and memory, well, we need to deal with these trials of Durance and Grieving Mother. Songs of the Wild, not the bounties. And of course we probably need to try the dragon. But I'll probably want to go and check the cards, you see, because I kind of want to know which cards I could pray or what do I need to do for them. I'm fairly certain there's going to be a thing I need to do for them to get their favor. That's how it usually goes, because cards are petty in this world, of course. Keeper Garrost or Garrett, who cares? Anything else? Ethnic Null, welcome your presence, supplicant. Ethnic Null. Essence taken by force may sustain one, but essence given freely empowers many. Smoke curls up from these charred skeletons. The smell is nauseating. Anything worth to steal for? Opal? No. Okay, let's check around as we are allowed to go. Is anyone actually seeing us? Yeah, I really didn't need it, but anyways, of course. Hello, Keeper. Nah, we don't need that. Keeper Verda, you were the one who'd be willing to do that soul transfer. I kind of want to talk to you.
Hail, Estramor.
The elderly dwarf blinks at you, not quite looking at you. Her eyes are pale and clouded with cataracts. Welcome to Bloodsands. It is rare that an Estramor sets foot in these caverns. Her sightless eyes sightless eyes fix on you as she tilts her head. What brings you here, I wonder? What do you do here? I sell and maintain certain goods for the preservation of our order, and I perform some of our ritual sacrifices. Something more? And how do these sacrifices work? Like any worthwhile ritual, it's too complex to explain in detail. It involves clothing the supplicant's essence, binding it to their life's blood, and drawing it into the container or vessel. Tell me about blood sands. This is the raw, bloody heart of Erclanfath, where some come to give their essence back to their people, where others seek a noble escape from their trials. The legacy of the builders to the tribes was not merely Adra and stone, but sense of community. And it is here that the Clanfathans come to sacrifice what is most precious, even their own lives, to preserve it. So, what do you sell? Flask of war paint, potion of major endurance, iron skin. Well, come on. Oh, I guess that's it then. But definitely good potions if I need. I kinda once I go to the temple, I probably want to talk if I can with every god, because I'm, again, like I said, I'm fairly certain they will give us quests. And although I'm fairly certain, I'm kind of think what I want, from which god I want to have the favor, I still kind of want to do the other stuff too. Anyways, the bravest sons and daughters fall not by the swords of Estramorn, but by the daggers of their brethren. How true, how true. So, anything interesting here?
See now what the flame has shown us?
Well, that is interesting. So it's a baton. Why there's blood on the floor? Nice. Now, what did we get? Blood Testament, only usable by monk, plus 2% raw damage per wound. Okay. Flask of war paint. And broad belt of power, plus 2 might, plus 2 resolve. I had plus 3 might. Okay. You have knockdown. Did you have something that gives you might and resolve? Oh, this did give you might. So, okay, there's that. You have of might and resolve. Is it the same? It's indeed exactly the same, yes. Oh, that was the third one then. Grants clarity, passive. Okay, and you had plus 3 constitution. Well, that's fine. Hello, keeper, don't mind me, I just stole your stuff. Is there a sacrifice over there? There definitely is. Archdruid Rehstin. Before we talk to him, we are gonna check the rest of the area. With my luck, we probably get him antagonized and kill everybody. Essence within the nurture of flesh. Essence within to nurture flesh, and essence without to strengthen it. Can I kick you in the lava pit? The heat emanating from this pool threatens to singe the flesh of your face. Durance really likes it here.
Now this I haven't seen before.
Okay, good. Unlock this. just because.
That's settled.
We don't need it, but what's in here? Probably don't need it. Emerald, nice. And lockpicks. It's not even stealing. So we will take it. Bim sam toom bim sam toom something like that. And nothing. Are we almost done with this area? I think we are. More keepers, I see. Nea, we might want to talk to you. The petitioner before you is swaddled in loose-fitting robes. Her hair is greasy and matted. A glossy film of sweat and grime coats her exposed skin. She has the swollen features of pregnancy and several missing teeth in her big, grinning smile. As you approach, she slowly turns to you and examines you from head to toe, smiling the entire time. Joyous day to you, she says. Despite coming from a varied body, her voice sounds resonant and relaxed. Not Nea, it's Naka, midwife and lawkeeper. Her hands run across the slight bulge in her belly. She rolls her head back and sighs a relaxed purr. Are you feeling well? Flawless, she realized. Apologies, I should be left to my meditation. The rite of strength is invigorating, almost overwhelming to the senses. She reaches down and cradles her belly in her hands and turns away. Okay. Nothing more, nothing less. So, Garrot, whatever. A dwarven man stands motionless near the roaring fire that lights the cavern. Your sacrifice feeds the land, supplicants. Come forth. A gust of smoke curls around him, licking the charred flesh that bulges on his forearms. They suddenly flex. Estramor. The dwarf holds his fist in a tight grip. Your kin doesn't come here to share with the tribes. What do you want? What is this place? Bloodsands. The dwarf picks on his scarred forearm. His guttural sigh mingles with the crackling of wood and bones behind him. As I said, Estramor rarely visit our halls. The Glenfathers call this place Bloodsands. We call it home. The Etic Knoll have tended the land from within this cave since before the arrival of the tribes to Twin Elms. Be warned, Estramor. We bleed life to nurture it. Our sacrifices may strike you as savage, but the health of these lands depends on them, and it's unseemly for guests to insult their hosts. Sacrifices? Tell me about them. Everything must die to return anew, Estramor. Through the sacrificial rites, we offer supplicants the honor of giving their most precious gift back to their brethren, back to their land. So why haven't you sacrificed yourselves then? The blood gives us strength. Even the Clanfathers have come to depend on the blood paid. They brim with power before battle, all thanks to the sacrifices of their kin. And tell me about the Etic Knoll. Our order has strived for generations. Before we came to Twin Elms, our rites fed the lands of the Eastern Mountains. Now we share blood for Ein Clanfath. Do everything that must end. Our sacrifices bring a new beginning. We sustain what's to come. Remember, Estramor, you are a guest in these halls. Respect our ways, and we tolerate your presence among us. Sure. Now let's see this area here. A blood sacrifice chamber.
As your blood flows, so shall your essence. Your life's energy shall feed the soil, and your soul's energy shall enrich the community. This is by your own choosing, supplicant?
Well, it would be probably too late to say no. Yes, their voice is high but even. The dwarf grips a hatchet with both hands. Oh, bloody hell, hatchet. And raises it over his head. He throws his shoulder forward and swings the weapon into the elf's chest, connecting with a meaty thump. Blood gushes around the blade, and the sacrifice's screams rent the air. A lot-lipped girl with disgust. This is why I prefer the wand to the blade. Despite his early agreement, the elf thrashes atop the stone table, his torso arching while his arms and legs remain tied in place. Meanwhile, the dwarf spreads his arms wide and allows the blood to spatter his robes. When the elf is finally silent and still, the dwarf pulls his hatchet from the body and wipes it on his hem. Okay. Streaks of red-brown blood and globs of tissue have worked themselves into the minute grooves of the stone. The dwarf wears crimson robes that are stained and streaked with dark patches. His face is smooth but lacking youthful elasticity. It's as if the lines and wrinkles have been formed and erased many times over. He watches you with eyes like two black pits as he wipes his hatchet on his robes. Hail, Estromor.
Few outsiders dare to venture this far into Blood Sands. You, however, are not easily intimidated. What brings you here?
Indeed, I am not easily intimidated. So, you murdered a man right here. Who are you?
I am the Archdruid of the Ethic Null. For centuries it has been my duty to guide our rituals and guard our knowledge. It is work that requires a certain resilience, but it is not without its benefits.
So, when are you willing to sacrifice yourself to the good cause? So, of course, I could ask, you murdered a man right here. And I think I'll ask, but of course, that's a weird... Why can't I just ask about the sacrifice? But anyways, you murdered a man right here. I did not think the Bleak Walkers were so squeamish. No, we're not. I'm just asking.
It was a sacrifice, and one willingly entered into. The survival of all things depends on balance. Give and take.
So when you give, just asking for a friend, the principle lies at the heart of all power. Expending something of value releases energy. Energy that can be channeled by those who know how. All kids, whether or not they care to admit it, practice this. We take the yield of the land and the flesh of beasts to live, and we give our blood and sweat to propagate the things we desire. So I could go attack, I won't let you continue this vile sacrifice, passionate, aggressive. Unfortunately, it's passionate, we're not doing that. Oh, I can see what you mean. Then you're wiser than most. There is much power in the world for those who have the will and the knowledge to tap into it. His black eyes dance. I invite you to explore our halls and speak with our supplicants. One can learn much by observing the sacrifices others are willing to make for greater purpose. Perhaps you will even consider making sacrifice of your own. Not all of our sacrifices are written in blood, but the most powerful are. Tell me more about the Ethic. We are a druidic order that has been in Twin Elms since Engvitan times. Our founders came from the White March, seeking a place where we might practice our beliefs in peace, as it were. Unlike most of our grandfather and brethren, we seek answers in the world around us rather than in the teaching of the gods. We believe that all life has power and that this power can be siphoned and conducted. We are not, as some suggest, madmen and murderers. All of our rituals are conducted with willing participants and through methods that have been tested and refined over centuries. Yes, I see that you really have to refine that thing to hit the hatchet in the chest. I can see why it takes centuries to refine. This allows us to create a war paint for which we are respected, if not loved. More about sacrifices I want to know. We merely believe that in giving up something of value, the energy from the sacrifice can be diverted elsewhere. It is not so different from what folk practice all over the world. If you want to turn the soil, sail a ship, or move a cart, you must expend energy. But we are best known for our practice of kith sacrifice. This is the most potent form of sacrifice because it releases the most energy. We distill the essence of an entire soul into a raw power that can strengthen the body, fortify the soul, and extend life. Oh. What's a war paint? A special ungun binding raw essence to the wearer. It grants incredible advantage in combat and has made us indispensable to the tribes. Whatever they say about our practices, almost all of them have made use of our war paint at some time or another. Fascinating indeed how the most strident objection can be overcome by circumstance. I'd like to buy a war paint. Yes, let's try that. I'm no merchant, human. Talk to the keeper Verda. She's around here somewhere. So how are you different from Ovates of the Golden Crow? Golden Crow, I remember when Erona came up with that name. Used to be as green as the rest of the forest, you know. We're more similar than they'd like to admit. We both believe in achieving power with the double-edged aid of the gods. But their fantasy is pure creation, something from nothing. They blind themselves to the fact that all life, from the mightiest dragon to the slimmest blade of grass, requires death, and the greatest ends require the greatest sacrifice. So I'll go with the crew. I agree, I just make sure I'm holding the knife. An enviable habit while you can maintain it. Make sure that it doesn't catch up with you. Likewise. Rehstin, likewise. So, well, there's nothing to us at least now, so we might as well leave. So I guess I'll go to the temple and see what the gods say to us, because of course they want us to do some busy work for them. To show how grateful we are for their favors. We have already done at least one. Maybe two. So in we go. Okay, I'll take a quick break. I'll be right back. Hello, this is Insti, and I'm recording this later date. This talk, I mean. There was a little recording mishap there, and fortunately, what I lost actually, is not that much, and so you didn't lose anything important. Basically, what I did is I checked around the altars and the room. There are books on the shelves for different gods. Then there's the pedestals, and I talked to Rimrkhan's pedestal. Then there was different choices to make to try to contact the god. I chose poorly, and we had a little fight. I think it was wisps or something like that. Nothing too serious. So then I decided I probably want to read those books. I went through the books and checked each other's gods' possible answers. And basically the video continues once I've checked those answers and our books. I'll explain them in the video, so I don't go in details in here. But anyways, fortunately, we didn't lose pretty much anything important. So, being a bit unlucky with the recordings with this playthrough. Hopefully, it won't continue. And now the normal recording continues. Okay. So I went through the books. I had to check these pedestals for the choices they have. So as I'm fairly certain these are the correct ones. Now, if I could only see, I need a little bit more light. Here we are. So for Hylia, it's live every note of life's song. For Berat, there is life in death and death in life. Rimmerkant, all life ends in stillness, which kind of makes sense. And for Galavain, survival begins with strength from within. And I did take those books in my inventory, hopefully. Yes, they are here. Many Faces of Berat, there is life in death and death in life. It's right over here. Books of the Hunt. Survival begins with strength from within. Midwife's memoirs. My mother lived every note of life's song. I think it was said also. Yeah, live every note of life's song. And then we have Enigmatic Code of Cold. Rimmerkant shows us that all life ends in stillness. And yeah, I had to go through these when you. This is Berat. We can see here these different choices. Anyways, let's start with Rimmerkant and see how it goes. Pray to Rimmerkant. Oh. Huh. So, if I fail and then destroy whatever the card sends, I'm skipping the part where I need to choose the right words. I guess, apparently. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, the blackness fades to white and howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself is of a broad frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. I know this place. This is the White That Wends. As they trek past you, one man bundled in furs turns his head. You headed for Noonfrost and the Frost-hewn Breach too. Before you can answer, he is lumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple minutes you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into a pale emptiness overhead, and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror-smooth section that's framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but a debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull up pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin bags and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into their labor, not one of them so much as scratches the polished ice. Yet with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Whatever that is, it's huge and angry, Sakani squints into the whiteout, and it's coming our way. It echoes out to the elves. Hey, you might want to hold off on that. But that howling wind seems to swallow up his voice. The elves hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious lowing, and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees. Your legs feel frozen in the drifts. I'll wait. You watch as the elves continue to work at the ice. They pay no heed to the rumbling roar of a numbing wind. Their movements, however, gradually slow. They labor at the ice with arduously sluggish movements until they finally freeze in place, some mid-swing and others preparing for the next blow. You touch the elf nearest to you, and he crumbles into a mound of snow. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It's the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever's on the other side of this strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the barrel gashes trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realize how strong its pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach, and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Rimmerkant.
Wait, what? Plug the hole with a handful of snow, plug the hole with your finger. I'll try snow. You fill your hand with the snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, the perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. Ah, glowing ice shard. So I need to... Okay, I think, yeah, we need to go to the Noonfrost and just block the bloody door. Yes. Now what? Now Berath. For Berath it was indeed... There is life in death and death in life. There is a rippling shift in the air around you as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel a peculiar weight and unseen presence and of eyes upon you. You kneel and pray to Berath. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon. To your left, only to rise on your right. Excuse me. You try to make out the details in either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with a mist, and another sheer canyon walls. For just an instant, you even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Bevnen I Ankev and Ankev I Bevnen, two of the oldest representations of Berath. You remember the door to Cleaban Realag and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male and the other vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept toward the mouth, inviting you in. Well, enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the moor to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Approach the dwarven man. You continue down the road towards him. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh has detached from the muscle underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. His jaws sag, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They are covered in blood. He lifts them on his face and smears himself from this newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. The hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouths of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice to the ethic norm. His body blocks the path. He extends bloody hand toward you. Attack him, because I'm not gonna be a sacrificial lamb for him, so I'll attack him, I guess. You strike out and are surprised at how easily his flesh gives beneath your blow. It rips like a dried canvas, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the bath gleams with 1,000 souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead can you continue onward. The blood pools around your feet, and you look up and see the elven woman waiting further down the road. Approach the elven woman. You start toward her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper in the slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long, golden hair is the color of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely, you realize that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in the place of the old. She reaches toward you, still smiling, as the roots from her fingertips, her outstretched arms, bar the path. Come, craft your soul to the golden grove. Nah, we'll attack her too, because why not? We attack the first one, we attack the second one. Let's attack. You swing at her, trying to knock her arm away from you, yet as your blow connects, you feel her skin grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as rough stone bark overtakes her flesh, she can only look on in a horror. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulders and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck, and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the simmering essence fades from them. The voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You lift your gaze and see the skull gate ahead of you on the path. The candles of the Ter Evran wink through the open mouth. Wait, am I supposed to kill the druid and the leader of the golden blah blah blah? We will check those soon. Hylia, do I want to talk? Pray to Hylia. It was the note thing. Live. Did I make a save? Because yes. Because I don't want to have the favor just yet. I'm just checking. Where's the note? Alive, leave every note of life's song. Your words seem to ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. You kneel while you pray. You feel the space around your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in a vision of the mountaintop temple. Yet you see neither worshippers nor a dragon, but a tree. Its limbs wrap around the perimeter of the temple, tapering into twigs and branches of all sizes and angles. They seem too long and too numerous to be held up by the meager trunk, but they hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands on the nearest branch. It watches you. Throw rock at the sparrow. Whistle to a bird. I seek audience with Hylia. I'll whistle to the bird. I will not kill it. You whistle to the first tune that pops into your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes, and hops closer to you along the branch. It pops its tiny head and opens its beak, and the rich, thrilling melody that spills forth is the song of a chorus of birds. A massive flock descends in with the thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs of the tree by the thousands. Birds of every shape, size, and color, nestling next to one another. A breeze ripples through the air, a limb sway, creaking with a strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from their branches, forming a brilliant, variegated flock in front of the trees. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you. cloaked by the flurry of the feathers. Grieving Mother, Watcher, I believe in standing legendary court of birds. She closes her eyes and raises her face to the sky. I feel presence, warmth, and hope.
You journeyed to my temple and rid it of the dragon. Now my faithful may return, singing their joy to the skies and praising me through their creation.
Okay, life is creation and celebration. I'm glad to have served you in this. Again, I'm not asking the favor, at least not yet. The breeze blows through the tree. A dove tucks its head into its feathers and watches you.
Glad because you seek to protect life, or because you seek a patron. And yet you have proven yourself with this task. I would tell you of another.
I'm listening. The birds return to the tree and nestle amongst their peers. The breeze ripples through the branches again, carrying the goddess's voice.
You must stop Theos, and you must undo the tragedy he has wrought.
The Grieving Mother rocks on her feet. There is a way, Watcher. There is hope yet. Birds all over the tree begin to chirp and sing, and in the rise of a fall of their voices Hylia speaks. Deus acts but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for her benefit, and he has obeyed. A hawk shifts on its perch. She will consume them, grow powerful while 1,000 empty children are born. But there is still time to reverse this tragedy. How could I return things to the way they were? Why would Voidica do this? It sounds like Theos has collaborated with her for a long time. Couldn't you stop there? Well, it sounds like Theos has collaborated with her for a long time. You know already that he has lived many lives. In each, it has been her voice in his ear, guiding him to serve her ambitions, urging him to protect her interests. Alec's expression falls. This is what the Leaden Key has been. For centuries? The melody of the birds grows mournful, and each of his lives has been one stands after another in a song of devotion to the Oathbinder. Why would Voidica do this? A pair of eagles shriek, because she prizes authority over mercy, laws over kith. She values the souls of mortals not for the beauty of they create, but for what they can add to her power. The wind blows cold. She fears animancy. She believes that mortals may use it to usurp the god's power, her power. She cares nothing for the innovation of kith, and how could she? She gives commands, not inspiration. Couldn't you stop Theos on your own? All of the gods, even Voidica, are bound by an oath. We sing one harmony and kith sing another. And though we may introduce a new melody in hopes that mortal ears will hear it and sing it back, we do not interrupt their chorus. To do so would unleash a cacophony between the gods, one that would overwhelm our songs and yours. But Voidica sings her tune to Theos. I would likewise sing mine to you. How could I return things on the way they were? The birds suddenly fall silent, watching you. The voice on the wind returns. Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were once stolen from. Hollow-bird children whose eyes have never seen the sun. The Grieving Mother claps her hands once, setting off the music of chimes. After a long years, let their wounds be healed, their tears dried. You could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. The breeze tickles your ear. Peace and restoration give purpose to suffering. There is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetry demands that great rejoicing for the suffering such as this. I'm not sure that it's possible to truly undo the harm of Theos has caused. Perhaps it would be better to allow these souls to find new lives. I'm not sure that it's possible to truly undo the harm Theos caused. Sakani, surely those wounds can heal, or don't you think the long absences could be overcome? Hylia, you hear the cry of sweets of plaintive. Perhaps the years cannot be forgotten, and for some, perhaps it is already too late. But if you could restore even one soul, kindle one spark of life. Raise one voice in joy, it would be worth it. There's something side to this. His tone is cautious. You see the consequences of a soul disjointed from its own cycle. Could these children ever truly return? So, can I just, leave this without taking this? Perhaps it would be better to allow this soul to find a new lives. Grieving Mother gapes at you in horror. Give them first these lives, Watcher. Let them know the love of parents who waited for them, tended them, and let their return bring healing to the Durwood. Hylia, how can they continue to another when they have not fully lived this life? To pass them along another now is cutting a stanza from a poem, a verse from a song. Okay, so I'll have to go with the thank you, Hylia. I will continue to Sun in Shadows.
When you reach the Burial Isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment, you will have power rivaling a god's. And after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose Restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake. I can be merciful and terrible, Watcher.
So you know? The Grieving Mother's eyes are fever bright. Watcher, this is the hope I have held to. The children of the Durwood might be restored, their families healed. Let us bring highest restoration to this country. So I swear to return the souls to the hollow-born children of the Durwood. I need to think about this. I would hear what the other gods have to say first. Yes, I would hear what the other gods have to say first. Hear then and choose. All the birds spread their wings and take a flight. As they flock and swarm around you, you gain glimpse someone's watching you from within the maelstrom of feathers. Her glance is full of compassion and hope. The birds rise towards the sun. They blot it out, reminding you for an instant of a dragon and a shadow. But when your vision clears again, you are standing in Ter Evra. Okay, nest above clouds. Thank you. So I'm allowed to check other gods too, so there's that. So this was Berath, and this was Hylia, and this was Rimmergard. So we will talk, of course, to Galavain. And Galavain was, what was it? Survival. Yes. Survival begins with the strength from within. There around you stirs and gust of warm wind blows across the back of your neck. You catch the faintest smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself pushed forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the air. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck still rise. Something leaps from the bushes. You find yourself pinned on your back and staring into amber eyes of a massive hound. The beast looks at you. Gleaming fangs protrude from the sides of its mouth. Its nose twitches as it inhales your scent, starting at your shoulder and proceeding down the length of your arm. You follow its nose to your hand, which is covered in blood. A tongue as red and meaty as a steak lolls out of its mouth and swipes your bloody hand. Its lips curl into what looks like a smile. The beast looks back at you, and as it fixes you with its glowing eyes, its muzzle retreats into a long, bearded face, and its pointed ears lengthen, dropping to the sides of its head. What was massive hound becomes a giant of a man, his broad, muscled shoulders draped with furs. He holds his flint knife to your neck and grins, revealing row of long, pointed teeth.
Soul is dead, and so is her legacy. You have cut down a fierce and cunning line.
Uranus was clearly stronger of the two, but Sul was protected in her den. He deserved it. Sul had been in place for too long. It was time for a new champion. If Sul could not defend her position from me, she didn't deserve it. Well, I go with it too long. It was time for a new champion.
Ah, fresh blood. The new feast on the carcass of the old. Grow strong from the other's weakness.
The changeling throws his head back and closes his eyes, breathing deeply of the cool air. He lets out a howl that rings through the air. He lowers his head, puffs of steam rising from his panting mouth. Twigs crunch and branches snap. The ground shivers under the weight of pacing, prowling footsteps. A dozen beasts, bears, wolves, and long-fanged cats stalk out the undergrowth, their matching amber eyes fast on you. Is this how you would treat an Galloway, with cats and dogs? As the beasts encircle you, their master rises onto his feet. Even the largest of the bears can only reach his round and muscle-knotted shoulders. You stand, mindful of the ring of predators surrounding you.
You sought and won the favor of Gallowayne. What new prey do you now pursue?
I hunt Theos.
To track a quarry, you must understand its movements. And Theos follows the path of a more powerful master.
A warm breeze carries the smell of smoke and gunpowder. Sparks ignite, afloat, and float in the draught, catching in the leaves over Gallowayne's head. A sudden blast of heat scalds your face, and even as you turn away, a flash of light sears your vision through your eyelids. When you look back, you see a woman in full plate standing next to Galloway. Her mirror-polished armor flickers with images of reflected flames. You can't see her face, but her voice is strong and clear like the ringing of steel.
Let him know his foe.
Hello, Magran. The whore breaks her silence at last. Have you missed me, Magran? You have found other lovers, but surely none that was my equal. Magran says nothing in response. Indeed, she never even glances in Durance's direction. An involuntary tick causes the baggy skin beneath Durance's eyes to quiver. He says no more, his ruddy skin blanched white.
Theos has trapped thousands of souls in sun and shadow like rabbits in a snare. Now, he goes there to retrieve the kill for his master Woodiga.
One of the bears paws at the ground in irritation, it hackles rising.
She will feast on them, suck their marrow, grow strong on their essence.
Why would Theos help Woodiga?
Because he is her hound. He has always done her bidding.
His eyes dart to another figure standing just behind Magran.
Woodiga stands for an old order. So does Theos.
Abaddon. A golem made of blackened pitted iron steps out from Magran's shadow. Its movements are slow yet precise, each footfall accompanied by groaning and grinding of metal. The steady orange glow of furnace coals emanates from its eye sockets. In Abaddon's crude yet efficient form, you see an uncanny resemblance to the eyeless. Yet his limbs are more finely wrought, his joints more flexible. You also feel the essence of the eyeless teeming with him.
They both fear change, and the Deerwood has changed much recently. People find answers not in the gods, but in animancy, the product of their own labors.
And why not? When they have learned that even a god can be killed.
Durance's eyes are wide, his beard is matted with sweat. Was that not as you commanded, my lady? We sought only to stoke your pride by bringing your visions to reality. Magran stands still, unwavering. It is though she had not heard him at all. What should I do about it?
Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and corner him in sun and shadow.
You have hired out your strength in the service of others, Watcher. Now we ask that you employ your talents for the benefit of all of the Deerwood. You must stop Theos before he empowers Woodica.
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
And if you believe you are free to make that decision how you wish it, you had not been listening to our conversation along the road. Thank you, Durance. I can think for myself, yes.
Souls were ripped from the world, ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the Deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors.
Why would I feed the lost souls essence to the rest of the Deerwood?
To breed strength. Power is born from the mixing of essence and blood.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation gives purpose to trial.
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
Interesting. I thought you served the cause of preservation, Abaddon.
Essence cannot remain in a dead body, any more than oil in a broken jar. Even though the stolen lives cannot be preserved, their essence can be used to ensure the survival of the Deerwooden remnant. Thus, the memory and vision of the lost may live beyond them. This is the nature of preservation.
If Woodica can accomplish this, then perhaps she deserves her victory. Again, when can I choose the point where I say I'll have to think about it? Well, okay, let's go with now I got to find Theos.
And when you descend the pit to Sun in Shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. As I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom. There are many souls upon the Burial Isle that are sworn to serve us. They belong to you now, and they shall guide your descent.
Okay, I'm guessing we are given the choice now. Durance faces agree. Beware the promises, God Watcher. They are binding, but only in one direction. The beasts grow restless, pawing around and eyeing you with a renewed interest. The bear sniffs at the ground next to your leg. One Stelgar skulks into the circle, its amber eyes glowing. Caravan hurls his knife between your feet, sinking it to its handle. He raises his empty hand.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the Deerwood.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and we will grant you a power fit for the finest warrior who ever lived.
Betray us, and my beasts shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside.
Honestly, I'm tempted to join these guys. I would hear what the other guards have to say first.
Consider and calculate, but decide.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Maker. I will decide. Caravan's hands fall and the crawling back launches into the circle. The vision vanishes in an instant, returning you to their Erona, where burning candles replace the glowing eyes of Caravan's beasts. Okay, so was this the last one? Let's see the journals. We have... we can descend down the pit, but we don't do that just yet. Servant of the Dead, Berat, the god of death and rebirth, showed me a vision of an elven woman and a dwarven man stopped on a road. My touch slew them, and only then I was able to continue along the path. I think this is the god's way of telling me that these two individuals have cheated death for too long. Ending their lives would no doubt please Berat. The druids of the Golden Crow told me that High Ovate Erona often ventures Elmshore in the search of remedies to prolong her life. I suspect that Erona is the elven woman from the vision. The dwarf in the vision had an early ageless phase, and he seemed to renew himself with the blood of others. He said something about the ethic Gnoll. When I learn who or what this is, he will no doubt be nearby. We already know who he is. It's his time to give in something for the others. The elven woman was strangely tree-like in the vision. She mentioned a place called Golden Crow. Okay, we know that too. Into the White Void. Locate the Frost-hewn breach in Noonfrost. I found Noonfrost Rimguard's temple in Old Song. The Frost-hewn breach must be here. When I find it, I can use the shard from the vision to close it according to Rimguard's wishes. So we do that. What about... I pressed her. Okay, we need to talk to Grieving Mother and Trials of Durance. Talk to Durance about Voidica. Learning that Voidica is responsible for Waitwen's legacy leaves many questions about the circumstances of the Saints' War and the destruction of Eosas. Durance may have heard the insight. We do that. But before that, Major Adventure completed. Devil Karak returns Stronghold with 915 experience and items. Balls awaiting Great Hall Treasury chest. So you didn't even want to tell me what that was. Fine. Okay, let's make a proper save. Okay, first things first, we are going to see you guys in the Noonfrost. Inside, where we close the door. After that, we are going to the Elm Shore. We kill a person there. And then we come back to the Elm's Reach and we kill the dwarf. So once we come back, I'll see you in Noonfrost. So be right back. Oh.
Stop right there.
Criminal scum. Who are you guys?
You're in the wrong city, Inquisitor.
Oh, another wizard.
Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
What? Okay, I've seen your light pyres with good people tied to them. People I'd known many years. He seizes you by the throat, and your airway tightens. Whether the real or imagined, you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding its hair's breadth from your eye. Why did it stop here? The reading, I mean. I have no idea.
Suros, what are you doing?
Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker. A woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seeming to tower over him. You have seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across the iron wheel. At the moment, it is marked only with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
Okay, if he is so poor an assassin as to approach an armed guard in daylight, I should have nothing to fear. I would hear what this man has to say. She stares him down until he can no longer face her. He turns away, sour-faced, watching you through his sidelong glances, his knuckles white around the pommel of his sword.
Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again.
So I could lie. The evils I've done in the name of the Inquisitor are too great for me to bear. I want to help you to end it. I've come to believe your teaching to be true. I've come to help you in any way I can. I just wanted to see you again. The problem is, yes, I kind of, in this history I have been his lover, so I'll go with the Grand Inquisitor's X Arcanon. Dispatch me here to spy on you. I ever doesn't blame. Or are things as desperate as that over there? I'd never have known. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. I hope there might be another reason, but you are here and that is good enough on its own. Whatever your reasons, I've missed you over all these years. Having you here now, at a time when I'm surrounded by strangers, is a wonderful gift.
I would like for you to stay here, in our camp, as my guest.
My Lady Ivara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth, what hope do we have?
My Lady, he admits being a spy.
That should make him less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come, we have much to talk about.
Okay, anything more? No. So, back to original plan. Yes, I see Durance has something to say to me, so we will do that later. But yes, in the Noon Frost we go, and I'll see you there. So be right back. Oh, I'll see if I can talk to the... Was it the Erva who... No, that's not the one who wants the songbirds. Where was she? Maybe here? Honestly. Did I go past him? It was the... Wait, where was it? So who wanted this songbirds? Because I kind of want to see if I can talk him out of it. Delem. Delem. That's Urva. So. Or was she here? Because these were the guys who wanted help clearing the Hylia Shrine. Okay, let's see. I thought it was somewhere here in south. Ah, there, sorry. Yeah, let's see if we can...
Builder's wisdom to you.
Okay, I spoke with Lindsay. She said eating songbird is just a superstition. It won't help you sing. Nonsense! Delem shakes his head in disbelief. I know a man who swears by the practice. This has been a part of how master chanters refine their craft for ages. Surely a wise woman such as herself would be familiar with the folklore and know that I speak of time-honored truths. She is indeed a wise woman, so why are you so eager to dismiss her opinion? Let me ask you this. Do sparrowhawks sing well? I'm just telling you what she told. So let's go with that. She is indeed a wise woman. His posture stiffens and he looks at you with a frown. Well, I think she just said that because she has a soft spot for birds. Besides, songbirds were what the chanters of old would eat. Why tamper with traditions? Okay, I'll try again. Let me ask you this. Do sparrowhawks sing well? Well, they can shriek loudly, but I wouldn't call it melodic. And yet their favorite meal is a songbird. So if your belief is correct, you're saying I should consume a sparrowhawk. Oh, wait, oh, I see. But maybe the sparrowhawk doesn't have a soul, and that's why... You're right, this is silly. I'm just desperate for creative passion. I'm walking the wrong path to find it. Thank you, my friend. I don't need a rare songbirds. I just need to find some inspiration from within. If you'll pardon me, I should stop delaying and write a new song. Minor negative. So I got negative because I let him to realize that he actually should do something and not just eat birds. Whatever. And they're gonna... Okay. They're gonna love me after I kill their druids and whatnot. Anyways. Noonfrost. Well, we are here, so it doesn't really matter to cut now. Oh, Alot wants to talk to me too. Bloody hell, everybody wants a piece of me now. Everybody wants favors and whatnot. Now that I'm talking with the gods, you know. So this should be quite easy and simple task to do. After all, we just, you know, go here. We already emptied this. Good thing I didn't fail this after all. I cleared it early. I guess... yes, it updated, so... We... Finally, I found the Frostune breach. Placing the shard in the frozen doorway will close it. Doorway or... The gleaming wall of ice seems to leach all of the warmth on the room. The cold tears your skin. So I guess this then? Block the hole with a Rimrkant's shard. The shard fits perfectly. As it settles into a place, the cold around the altar dissipates. Similarly, the portal before you seems to thicken and the mysterious seepage tapers off. Okay, that was easy. We gained reputation, major, and the fangs extraordinary. Anyways, we'll see you guys on Elmshore, where there are people to be killed off, you know. So, I'll be right back. So, I guess she might be here. That would make sense, maybe. Hello there. An elf stands on his dais in the middle of the clearing. The ground is blanketed with leaves in various shades of russet and gold. Her eyes are closed and her arms folded in front of her. A curtain of autumnal yellow hair hangs in front of her face. As you draw near, she lifts her chin and looks at you with shifting hazel eyes.
Greetings, Estremor. You are among the Ovates of the Golden Grove.
And you are?
High Ovate, an ancient elm among poles and saplings. We have taken root in the same soil, and the others grow in my shade. Their roots nourish my soil. My branches give them shelter. Together, we grow.
Your essence churns like an eddy in the stream. Estremor, speak the questions on your soul. Well, there's really no reason to... not to say this, Berat has sent me to end your life. It has continued for too long.
And counted on your silent acceptance of such commands, no doubt. What is a god that his voice should carry so far? And what are you that you should so eagerly obey? The gods only have dominion over what we cede, and you would cede matters of life and death to them.
It's that or trust your neighbors. If you had my neighbors, you might think twice about that. Are you any different? You've extended your life beyond its natural span. Through work and wisdom, the greater the tree, the more fruit it may yield. There are vines climbing an ancient elm into the sunlight. My growth sustains them. Should our harmony fall prey to a god's jealousy? And where exactly would she lead them? She's blind to the limits of her own wisdom. Okay, so I can choose. Your growth stunts theirs. They learn nothing about from you. If this is what you demand of the others, Ovate, you're no different from the ethnic Null, or the gods. The gods are wiser and more ancient even than you. It is not for either of us to oppose them. I need Berat's aid, and this is what he's asked of me. I made my decision. So I'll go with the your growth stunts theirs. They learn nothing about from you. If this is what you demand of the other Ovates, you are not different from the ethnic Null, or the gods. A storm of protest brews behind her color-shifting eyes. She says nothing for several seconds, but you see the fury slowly drain from her face as her eyes fade to the brown of dead leaves. Finally, Erona lowers her head. Your words carry truth and shame. It was never my desire to diminish my followers, but I can see where perhaps my roots left no room for them to grow. Very well, if my season has ended, then let me pass with it. As she closes her eyes, the warmth and color drain from her body. Her breathing slows, her ashen skin stiffening with a dull patina. When the last sigh that leaves her lungs, cracks carve their way across her flesh, dividing it into hardened ridges. Within seconds, Erona has petrified, her bark-encrusted face turned towards the Ovates below the dais. Oh. Okay, that was quite easy. Okay, there she stands. So, I'm guessing the other one won't go so quietly. Or maybe it does. We got actually major reputation. Nice. So, we will see you in Ethicnol next to a certain dwarf who needs to be killed. Let's see if he is as wise as she was, or do we really need to stick a hatchet in his chest? We'll see. So, I'll see you soon. Be right back. Okay, here we are. Let's see if he will be as smart as the last one. We'll see. Berat believes it's time you paid your dues. Then he can descend from his mighty pantheon and tell himself. Actually, that's why I'm here.
Since when do the gods send mortals to collect? You're much too talkative to be the usher. This is the trouble with deities. They meddle in a world that they don't even inhabit. I hope they've promised you something better for your next life.
Oh, much better. Oh, so for some reason, he wasn't as understandable. Do I really need to kill all of these? Okay, you're dead. So dead. Okay, now we're done with that. Hopefully we don't have to kill every last one of them. Purgatory. Okay, that's interesting. Unique saber, one-handed, 17 to 24 slash damage, plus 20% damage. 20% damage restored as endurance. 0.5 to critical damage multiplier. That is not that terrible. Alright, we'll give it to your inventory and we can check later if that is something you might want to use. But again, it doesn't really matter. Exceptional headset. Warhammer Blood-Blessed Skin Cultist. Robes. Okay. Plus 4 damage reduction. Exceptional. Okay. And you had what? Basic fine warbow. Now, your sword compared to this. I think I go with the Flames of Fair Rian. Now. We are in an interesting position. We need to obviously talk to these guys. We will do that shortly. I'll want to go outside, and so we will have to see if we really need to kill. Oh, we do need to kill you guys.
Lover beyond sea.
Let's go.
So you didn't hear about the thing of the gods, I guess. Fortunately, I'm quite over level, so it shouldn't cause that much of a problem. Although I still need to be a bit careful. Are we killing anyone? Is everyone attacking? I think they are. None. Come on. Turn to enemy. Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't notice that you were almost dead. Well, no. I don't know what I was thinking there. Nothing really. A quick save. So I guess I'll need to slaughter every last one of you guys then, because it's time to clean up the place. So are you enemy too? No. Good thing you are not at least enemy. Yeah, indeed, I will kill every last one of these. Hostiles, at least.
Let's...
Oh! Nice.
Lava beyond sea.
Oh, you're an enemy too, Garrett.
Lava.
Correction, you were an enemy.
Let's go.
Nothing purple. Fine, fine, fine. And you guys, wait. Oh, well. Talon. Okay. Good for you. I don't know who Talon was. Hopefully nothing too important. But he's dead now, so there's that. I can live without him. Now, what's going on here?
Let's go.
Oh, you... Why do you want to fight with me now? Honestly, too bad for Naka. I didn't realize she would be fighting me too, because I should have realized that. But, her choice, not mine. Let's see a keeper.
Lava room.
And we're done. Seriously, could you already die already, everyone?
Let's go.
What are these? Fine club, fine hatchet, blah blah blah. So this will take us obviously back in here. Just checking that there's no one. Nope. Fine saber. No. So this area needs to be cleared. Hello, Chanta. Bye, Chanta. Almost. And thanks for the contribution. We might as well steal these then. Do we have someone? Yes, we do have you, Chantas. Honestly, you could just get that going there. And why not this too? And press kill, kill, kill. Are we done? Oh, you... Oh, sorry. Now we're done, I think. Stop crawling, thank you.
Right.
Okay. this house is clear, I would say. Now, we need to talk with Durance, obviously. We need to talk with Alot. We need to talk, hopefully, with the Grieving Mother. Now, we are in an interesting situation here. We are able to start the end game, which I probably will. But there's also one thing we would kind of like to test. It's the dragon. I would say that I leave the end of the game probably in the next episode. But we could try the dragon in this, because I don't know how long it will take to go. Where's the map change? There it is. Let's go to the hard song, because we need to sleep. Because once we drop down, that's, I think, a point of no return. Before that, we have to do what we can do. But I don't know how huge area the end area is. So could I do it in this episode? Of course, this would be a little longer episode. Or should I split these? Oh. Tricky. Now, first things first, we need to sleep.
How do you do?
How do you do? I need a room. Thank you. Now, I'm gonna starting with the Durance.
What is it, Watcher?
Does what we learn about Vodika trouble you?
It stinks of her. It is justice, but if her greater purpose was to think Margaret would fall prey to such deceit. And Aethys. Widewind had always claimed to be invading Deerwood to free it. What if it were true? What if he had come to stop Woodica's plot before it began? Surely Aethys earned his death at Godhammer Citadel, but not for those reasons. Not to keep him silent. If such a thing has brought about this chaos...
Durance tilts his head as if listening to an inner voice, then he frowns, the frown deepening as he speaks.
Must we always be tools of gods? If Woodica and Margrin, if they are the cause of this, the Hollowborn, if the purges were never necessary, if Aethys was fighting back...
Then your Godhammer didn't say Durwood, it doomed it. Aethys needed to be starved, and so does Woodica. The purges. Would it have been better had you been spared this knowledge? It is a lot to take in. I'll say that Aethys needed to be stopped, I guess.
I know. It had to be done.
So would it have been better had you been spared this knowledge?
No, I am glad to have walked this far with you, seen this truth. Perhaps it was what I was meant to see, with a watcher's eyes. All these dances of words and intrigues, machines of men, twisted, ripping the souls of children, and by the gods, the goddess of justice. If I could end her like Aethys, Margrin burned her once. One can do so again. Woodica, she must answer to her own justice.
Justice or revenge?
Anyone with a shred of spirit seeks both justice and punishment. It burns in the heart of anyone who lives. All seek it. If the world does not balance, we all drown in the oceans. And the gods would not care. Margrin, she must be redeemed. And punishing Woodica, that will serve.
Do we know that Magran was not a willing accomplice? Magran was allied with Vodika. She tried to kill all the makers of the Godhammer. Okay, do we know that Magran was not a willing accomplice?
Is this some final joke at my expense? To test my faith further?
And why would you think that, Watcher?
I'm not certain. It's just a feeling I have. You said you left Ashfall without telling anyone of your departure. The others who made the Godhammer, they all died, didn't they? That's why I saw their symbols fade from your staff. I'll go with that.
If all you have are questions, then I have enough of those. She is a bitch of a goddess, to be sure. But even a whore only goes so far in crossing those she serves.
You said you left Ashfall without telling anyone of your departure.
You answer a question with a question. Then why did I feel her disappointment at Halgot? Why were we shamed?
Because I think she tried to kill you there?
Kill me? She is a goddess. I still drink from her burning breasts, Watcher. If she wished me dead, she could trace me to my source and kill me.
In the dream of the Godhammer, your spirit looked blurred, indistinct in the light, as if it had been shared from you. Durance stares at you, his expression frozen, but he is silent, listening. If you had been damaged, as I saw in the Godhammer vision, then she may be unable to see you as you once were. I'll go with that. Durance turns from you for a moment, his face twists in a thought, conflicting emotions running across his features. Finally, he turns to you, his face steady.
There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther than I could.
If you don't trust me, then trust your staff. Admit that the other Godhammer builders are dead. Durance turns to the staff, and for a moment you see his eyes burning, taking in the edges of the wood, the symbols inlaid there, the 11 faded circles.
They died in the blast, yes. The other 11. I was the only one to walk away. I thought we had wronged our goddess. That this was my trial, and if I could prove myself worthy of her! I should have known better. There is only one god of redemption, and I saw him ended.
As he studies the staff, you feel a wave of heat, a terrible energy rolling forth from it in waves, so much so it feels as if the Godhammer itself is alive in his hands. And past it you hear a cry like a child being born, and your eyes feel the flash of white, then 100 imagined shades of purple and white streaming and circling into the howling of a storm, and beneath it, the grinding of an ancient machines of stone, rock and metal, grinding and turning until all around you feels as if it's burning, sinking into the shadows of the earth, beneath the ground, the only place where a spirit might find refuge. When your vision clears, you see Durance, his hands clutching the staff, and his eyes are bright, burning red. Atop the staff, the flames burns cleanly, brightly. As his gaze burns, he rips his gaze away and howls, a bellowing, horrid howl, like a wounded animal, and sweat pours down his brow. Durance, we can make this right. We can see that justice is served to her and Boudica both. This is not over. We will still have much to do. Well, let's go, Durance. We can make this right, because I might take Migrant's side, so we can make things right.
To think I served her. I followed her. Now I shall serve no one. Boudica's lies must be answered. And now it seems I must take fire and war from a goddess's false claim as well. I still take from her strength as I did, for as long as it lasts. For I shall not cast her aside yet, until I have drained her dry and had my fill, just as she intended for me. For I have learned one of the lessons of the faithful. The faithful may wound a goddess greater than any enemy. A purification is coming, and this fire shall consume them both.
Okay, it's good. Go. Let's continue on.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
Okay, let's keep moving on. Trials of Durance. I was able to get Durance to see that Migrant had considered conspired with Vortigern in creating the Godhammer, and that her refusing to speak with him wasn't because he had wronged her, but rather was because she had intended him to die with the other Godhammer engineers in order to keep secret her direct involvement in Earth's destruction. Though it appears this alliance between the goddess was short-lived, it sheds new light on the Saints' War and the epidemic of hollowbone infants that followed. Durance, for his part, has renounced his goddess and sworn revenge. As a man who's killed on one god already, it would seem that he might be one of the only people alive who could make good on such a threat. Now, Alot, you have something?
If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
It just means we've got to focus on finding Theos. Rational, shrug, worrying won't change anything, Stoic. It distresses me too, honest. And benevolent, I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this? Passionate, this isn't fair. We're stuck in the memories and personalities from ages ago. And clever, at least one of you got some good news, right, Isilmir? Tempting, but I'll go with the Stoic. Worrying won't change anything.
Yes, if only that knowledge could prevent it. And while I hate to turn the subject back to myself, this all has me thinking about Isilmir. I'm stuck with her now.
You've been awakened for decades now. Did you really think anything would change, Rasha? She's not that bad. I can't imagine having her in my head. It's time you dealt with this, Alot. You mean how she's stuck with you, clever. I'll go with the rational. You've been awakened for a decade now. Did you really think anything would change?
I suppose not, but hope is an unchaste mistress.
Did you hear what Durance had to endure just about right a second ago? And on the bright side, I got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. You got to make that decision, Alot. What do you think? Your whole life, you've been taking orders. If you can't assert your authority over her, you'll never have it anywhere else. Like it or not, she's part of you, and she could be a source of strength if you learn to work with her. That is actually true, maybe. So, I'll go with that. Like it or not, she's part of you.
It's strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly. It will be a relief to stop fighting her.
Good for you, Alot. Even as he says it, something struggles within him. The muscles in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back in the skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think deep down I'd always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he'd called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Leaden Key, I hoped and believed that, with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and I realized your unique talents, I hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul, the way I've seen you do with so many others. I'd been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. Most people need that kind of guidance. You don't. I've been with you the whole way. I still am benevolent. You haven't been on your own. I got you through Brackenbury, remember? Okay. I'll go with the rational. Most people need that kind of guidance. You don't?
You don't think so, eh? It's a comfort to imagine that all we've gone through has been for something. But it leaves me wondering where we'll be, where everyone else will be, when we finally track down Theos. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
Don't tell me you're getting your panties in a knot about something new, Cruel. I expect we'll figure out what that means eventually, Stoic. They did tell us to pray the gods so that can't be entirely true, rational. I don't know what they meant. Well, I expect we'll figure out what that means eventually.
Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that were somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
So don't think about it. I'm sure we'd find our way. We'd find our way on our own. Let's just hope that's not the case. Then Isilmir would just be a happy accident and you'd have no one to blame for her, Clever. I'm sure we'd find our way on our own.
I hope you're right.
Well, we're stopped. Let's discuss something else. We should get moving. Okay. Now we have Grieving Mother to deal with. So what I'm gonna do is now sleep a few times and see if we can activate Grieving Mother's quest, because I think that is that is the last one. So I'll pause it here. I'll sleep a few times. I'll try to get the Grieving Mother to talk to me. So once that happens, we will see you. If that doesn't happen in a decent time, then we'll do something else. But I'll try it. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. I jumped to the... I can't remember. I probably slept 7 or 8 times in the inn. It didn't work, so I jumped to the Cape Noir and slept once, and here we are. The morning is cold and silent. You are upon the plateau of the Gilded Vale, and there is no sound, no wind. The sky is smooth, moderate grey, and the forest beneath the plateau nothing more than a jagged black silhouette. Even the rock, the area around you, it feels colder. The sun's warmth bled from it. Against the cold backdrop of the sky, you see the great Gilded Vale hanging from its arch of Adra. Its surface is tarnished, and the shadows inside the bell are dark still. It seems to press down upon you, or simply, sadly, watching, as if standing upon a grave formed from the table of the plateau and the remains of the mother's womb that now covers its surface. And there is something heavy in your hands. It breathes, gurgling, slick and wet, and yet that is all it is. You find yourself filled with fear. You don't want to look at what you are holding. You don't want to touch it with your mind. And it's all you can do not to cast it from you. Examine what lies in your hand. The mass before you is vacant, flesh in the shape of a newborn, bubbles of saliva bunch at the mouth. Expelled by its steady, gurgling breath, its arms, legs, head lolling, limp. No thought, no struggle, no desire to cry in protest or pain. There is nothing from within. There is an absence in your hands. Your hands tremble, shake, and the silence is broken as the chimes of your wrists echo with the trembling. And the chimes do not echo in the thoughts of the mass in your hands. There is no soul within to hear it. Reach out with your thoughts. The only emotion blanketing the plateau are the pain of the mother. The child breathes, its heart beats, but it makes no cry. The child feels light, empty. There is no joy in it, no fear, no thoughts at all. Yet in the hollows inside it, it breathes a thing of habit, not life. You cannot move. Your trembling has subsided, and the birthing chimes on your wrists are still as the child. The mother is crying, eager to see, begging to see the child. You feel the sudden spike of fear, of being hunted. If you give the child to the mother, you will be blamed, and her anguish and rage shall fall upon you. She will not spare you or anyone you love, of this you are certain. But you did not cause this. You don't think you caused it. And the mother begs, her arms outstretched. Hand her the child. The chimes sound once more as you give the child to its mother, and as the chime fades, there is a eager gleam, the welling joy, the questioning. and you draw upon it deeply, letting hope stream into her eyes, letting her ears fill with the cries that you have heard countless times past from other children on the bell. You hear the laughter in the mother's voice, in streams of tears that run down her face, and with practiced motion, you weave a life that will never be into her eyes and thoughts. She will care for the child as if it were whole until you set her free. She will care for it until you find a way to heal what has happened, until the reality cannot be dispelled anymore. And still, cradled beneath a weeping woman that birthed it, the child in her arms does not hear the cries of the mother, does not react. It's an empty thing that breathes and carries nothing within it. And the chimes on your wrist lie still. They are bound to you like chains, never to sound inside a newborn's mind ever again. Wake up.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I saw a hollow bone at the birthing bell. The grieving mother's head bows, and she raises her hands, straightening them slowly, so the chimes do not sound as she moves them. You feel a chill in the air, as if the vault of your mind is growing too large for the thoughts within, and your breath is laced with a chill. To your horror, you hear her breathing, ragged, hacking, but strangely steady, and you can see saliva bunching at the corners of her lips, becoming thick ropes of drool that cast themselves down her chin. There is a smell of blood in the air, new, wet, and the salt, sharp tang in your mind. Coupled with this is the smell of sodden undergarments glowing at your senses. Take her shoulder and try and steady her. Stepping forward, your hand falls on her shoulder, and then you feel her begin to fall, rigid as falling stone, and you place your other hand on her shoulder to steady her. Throughout there is a horrid, steady breathing. Her clothes are wet. It is as if she is burning with fever beneath her tangled hair and beneath her threadbare robes, as if she is giving birth. With a slow hissing intake of breath, her head rolls back on her shoulders, her eyes pressed tightly together like the lids of a newborn. Yet past the lids, you can feel the piercing stare, vacant, cold, horribly. You sense nothing from her, not a thought, like the hollow bone you held in her memory. You know if you try and pull away now, she will vanish into herself and vanish from your thoughts, perhaps forever. And you have a terrible feeling that whatever connects the two of you will be cut. She is as helpless before you as a child, and you search thoughts for a way to coax her to you. Wake up listening to me, listen to my words. Share a memory of peace and comfort. Grab chimes on her wrist. Your soul is strong. You were meant for more than this. I'll try that. Or, Yes, your soul is strong. She jerks slightly before you. Then her head tilts and the steady breathing breaks, and she gives you a racking cry.
I thought it was my doing. I thought that I had stilled it with my thoughts. The child. It was just a child. What was done with it?
I do not know. I think you helped give birth to the child, then gave it to the mother. It was a reverse of the previous memory. The child was born dead. You helped give a birth to a hollowbone, yet you made the mother think otherwise. I'll go with that because that is the truth. Her breathing is steady again, but there is a life in it where there was not one before, and her emotions are building in her. Apprehension, confusion, welling up. She seems afraid to do more than simply be aware the memory is there.
It was not the last hollowborn on the birthing bell, and never again did I hear a child's cry.
You have found a death within me, one that many women have borne within them. The words swirl with impulses and weight, spiraling around her, and you feel as if you are being dragged into it. I sought to serve women in need, and instead my hands ushered no new life. What happened next? I bear the responsibility for it. What happened next?
The first birth was the deepest, the saddest. Nothing I could do could find the child's spirit, guide it to him.
You feel a strange absence between you, as if your thoughts are being shared across great distance. The thought bleeds out for a moment, then returns sharp, near, personal. Excuse me. I could not understand what had happened, what I might have done. I feared No, I could not dwell on that thought. The child was always there, always a reminder of what had happened, a marker. I made her care for it. I made them all care for it, until I could find what had gone wrong. You made her care for it? But the Hollowborn, it wasn't your doing, it happened elsewhere. What happened then? Yes, I'll go with the Hollowborn, it wasn't your doing.
Little word of the outside world reached us. It was enough time for rage and pain and grief to guide hands. I feared what would happen to the children, what would happen to me. Every mother knows her womb may shed a stillborn, but these cold, soulless creatures, the parents wouldn't have understood, and fear of the unknown breeds violence.
So what happened then?
I held their minds within mine. I shaped and guided them as long as I could. And with each passing day, each new birth, the strain grew. And the more I felt my control slipping, the more I focused my thoughts. Eventually, even I succumbed to the power of my own illusion. I'd woven the threads so tightly that I could no longer see through them.
Oh, and then one morning I heard funeral bells tolling in the village. The sounds of wailing rose throughout the mists. A mother had died, her mind so focused on the care of her hollow-bone child that she'd neglected even to feed herself. And with that, the illusion broke. The townsfolk saw their hollow-bone the way they were, not the way I'd wished them to see. By the end of the day, they'd begun to look at me differently too. I did not understand what had happened, but I knew enough to flee. And every suspicion that surfaced, every faded memory of what I've done, I pressed it down, tucked it away. She feels cold, lonely, rigid. My skill failed me, but I did what was necessary. I regret the mother's death, but how much worse would it have been had I not acted? I understand you had to defend yourself. Protecting innocent lives is a worth of any price. You inflicted your will on the townspeople. That was wrong. There were other ways. You could have sought outside aid for the children, or fled if you feared for yourself. That is problematic. Well, protecting innocent lives is worth any price.
Yes. And yet, was the mother not also innocent? Did she not also deserve my protection? I feel the purity of my reasons, and yet little satisfaction for what I've done.
The right thing is not always easy, and yet if we can redeem the lost children of the Durwood, our struggle will be worth it. To rule another like that, even for mercy, is wrong. We must accept that there are some things we cannot control. I no longer wish for you to travel with me. These are a bit of a problematic answers. I kind of want to keep her with me. Well, I'll go with it. The writing is not always easy. The grieving mother's mind is silent and still for several moments. She lets your words wash over her, seeping into the cracks in her own thoughts.
My actions only caused more misery. Worse, I took from an entire village, made them as empty and helpless as the children I sought to protect. But you feel it was right to hold and direct their minds, even knowing the cost?
You did not know the cost then. We must often plot our courses with imperfect knowledge. Mercy gave the children a chance, and it brought their families joy, if only for a while. A fresh and innocent life is valuable above all things. Yes, it was worth it. She did not know the cost then. And Mercy gave the children a chance, and it brought their families a joy. Yes, it definitely gave a chance. So I'll go with that. Mercy gave the children a chance.
A melody, brief yet sweet. A fragile thing to cherish while it lasts. A short turn of the wheel, but a turn all the same. Your words have soothed my mind in ways I did not expect. I thank you, Watcher, for the gift of your sight, for using it to guide me out of the prison of my mind. Let us hope it can also free you from the illusions Theos has woven around you.
The crossed I added. Okay, what is this? 750 to 200 copper in treasure, average item, major item. In the court of bowing ashes stands a towering Adra statue intertwined with the living trees, dating back to the Engvitans. It is believed to represent an Orlan ruler of that lost empire. Though the natural progress of time has done some damage to it, the Clanfatans remember one act of vandalism against it from the early colonial days. During the chaos of the Broken Stone War, Aether explorers ventured deep into Air Clanfath, made their way to the court of bowing ashes, and scaled the statue to break loose a single eye, large as an Aumao's head and made of pure Adraban. Most of the members of that band were captured and killed by Clanfathans, but the eye was never recovered. In recent years, rumors have spread through the Eastern Reach that a new owner of the eye has been attempting to sell it through covert markets. The Anamamfatha of at least 3 tribes would reward anyone who recovered it. Okay, so Table of Karak, you do that. What is Crossed Eyes, Hireling? Azura has arrived, offering a sell. Yes, he offers a worm bull for 1400 copper pieces. I bought it, because why not? Okay. The grieving mother is still haunted by her actions at the Birthing Bell, as well as by her ultimate failure to protect the Hollowborn there. Nevertheless, she did the best she could at the time. If we find an opportunity to reverse the legacy, I know it will be worthwhile whatever the cost. So that is indeed, I think, all the company quests. Maybe? So, we have few things to do, and that means... Yeah. I'm just checking. Did we Mother's Plea? Trials of Durance done. Long Hunt Sagani done. Aloth done. Alagina done. Grieving Mother. Right. Maneha. Table of Karak. Zahua. Wait, where's Edes? We know that we've done Edes, but where is it? These are bounties. It shouldn't be here. We've definitely done Edes. Ah, here, Ede. Now what? Now where are my groups? No. We've done Kanas. We've basically everyone else except maybe Hiravias. Haven't we done Hiravias' quest? Really. Basically, it should be... There's the Dream and Legacy. Okay, let's see. I'll change Grieving Mother to Hiravius. Yes. I'm not gonna level him up, but I'm gonna talk to him if I can.
As a peripatetic loner, I'm not privy to the latest news, but the Hollowborn Children is a tale that has reached even my reclusive ears. Or, rather, ear.
Okay, what do the Clanfat and Druid think about Blight?
It's been a long time since I've spoken with my circle. They'd probably tell you what I'd tell you. This plight was most certainly the consequence of someone trespassing into Engwithan places, not meant for folk. I mean, what else other than the gods could inflict punishment of such impressive scale?
What are your thoughts on the Hollowborn?
Any time a life is separated from its soul, I wanted to pretend it was just a rumor when I first heard of it. In my youth, I'd cursed the dear Woodens for being ignorant to spoilers that breed out of control. But soulless babies? What heartless gods would inflict that kind of tragedy? No parent or child deserves to be a part of that horror. Need something?
Why? Okay. Tell me about yourself.
My second favorite subject. What would you like to know?
What's the story behind the symbol of whale on your eye patch? Whale is known for eyeless face, so its symbol seemed a good fit for my eye badge. Whale iconography is rather popular in my home tribe, but it seems he's not as widely venerated here in the Durwood. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna just check if I've done Iravis's quest. I don't know if it's that important to do it anyways, but I'll go and check it, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we definitely haven't done. We need to ask about the spirit shift. I think it's this. What sort of creatures can you become? All sort of things. Okay. Hiravis stares at you blankly. Arms folded. Let's discuss something else. Okay. That's unusually terse response from you. What are you holding back? I can't have any secrets in my group. Out with it already. Any man with your scars has a story to tell. I'm just going to ask you later if you don't tell me now. If you want to talk about it, I'm all ears. I'm going to go. That's an unusually terse response from you.
It's a long story, and I haven't really told it before to an outsider, so bear with me.
Okay.
I struggled with spirit shifting, the final rite of passage in my druidic training. I prayed to Galawain for insight, and, in the style of seekers of old, went to the forest, alone, to ask for guidance. Then I got my answer. An answer at least, in the form of a vibrantly colored Stelgar that pounced from the underbrush and made a salient demonstration of its capacity to eat things 1/15 its size.
You're alive today, so how did you fend off the beast?
Fend it off? I ripped off its arm and sent it running. As the beast was lopping off bits of my handsomeness, I remember trying to fight back, swinging with arms too short to reach. I felt I had the energy for one last swipe at the beast's nose, and when I lashed out with a punch, my arm felt twice as massive, and my fingers sprouted talons. In a rush of power, I shifted into a mirror of my assailant. Apparently, he couldn't pick on someone his own size. By the battle's end, his severed arm was in my maw. The beast limped away in defeat.
That's a quite impressive tale. I thought learning to spirit shift would win me some respect, maybe trap myself and aid a lass with a lust for a little man. Alas, I might have been better off staying a novice. When I wandered back to my village, they saw my wounds and asked what happened. I showed them. The name they called my form was an Autumn Stelgar, and they were not impressed. The rear of my circle believed the Autumn Stelgar to be a heinous abomination. It is said that if it eats you, your soul is invariably lost. As this was my first and most intuitive form, they deemed me carrier of its evil. Even though I never so much as threatened my kin, I was ruled unfit and cast out. I don't know what message Galavain was trying to send. The only lesson I learned was that the Seeker card will punish you for seeking. So you're some sort of a cannibal? You didn't choose your spirit shifting form? Were you at least recognized as a proper druid? Can you learn to spirit shift into something less terrifying? Thank you for sharing your story. So you didn't choose your spirit shifting form? No, it chose me, or so I imagine. I always assumed it would shift. I would shift into a stoat. Seems more true to my nature. As the obscure teaches, when the answer is inscrutable, one must content to ponder the question. Were you at least recognized as a proper druid? No, but I know I passed an initiation rite 5 times more perilous than any of those kin betrayers that I insisted I was a failure. So you're some sort of soul cannibal? No, at least I think not. I've never actually sat down and eaten an entire person to find out. I'm not that curious to find out. Can you learn to spirit shift into something less terrifying? Already can and sometimes do. But the druids of my circle assign great meaning to one's first form. I'll always be unclean to them.
Well, if you don't know me, you can't trust me. And if you can't trust me, odds are low you'll leap in front of a flying arrow to save my life. I've been meaning to visit the druids of Twin Elms to see if they know more about my spirit shift. If our journey takes us there, perhaps they can enlighten me with more information about the Autumn Stelgar. But for now, maybe we can talk about something less depressing?
Okay, so we need to go talk to the people I don't know, in Twin Elms and do something there and do something here. But we are not doing that just yet. I'm gonna change him away. Because before we end this episode, I at least once go try to deal with the dragon.
May Wal watch your step.
And in next episode, I'll do his quest and start to do the... And start to do the main quest. Because I'm fairly certain we need to kill people in the Burial Isle. It will take a little while, and then I have no idea how long we will take in the end part of the game. So once I'm next to the Dragon Den, I will see you there. Well, actually inside the Dragon Den, so I will see you there. Be right back. Okay, here we are. Let's see. Dragon is over there. I probably want to be somewhere over here because I know the bloody creatures will spawn. So let's make a quick save here. Hello there.
You again? Oh, I could still kill.
Yes. Actually, I'll move away. There it comes, yes. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is abjuration for now. Yeah.
Yes?
You maybe want to go... What is it? Immune to dragon breath, frightened, paralyzed, stuck, stunned, terrified, and unconscious. Okay. But are you... I'll try to attack that. You'll try to attack that. Everybody actually try to attack that. You will give us the... Well, you can't really. Not yet. Okay, Sakani, you are in a bad position. You're really... Okay, we need to load this. Didn't go as I planned at all. So basically, I'm not gonna use that skill because I didn't realize it's much shorter range.
Right.
What we really need to do is obviously concentrate
Watcher.
on the bloody dragon. What I need to do is get you guys over here. And you guys have to be ready to attack straight the dragon as fast as you can.
Right.
I know this is not probably the best way to do it, but
Good.
let's try this.
You again. I could still.
Now, everybody attack the bloody dragon. Sworn enemy, of course. You might still try the case of Adrakan.
What?
You will stop. You will keep this for me. Dog, deal with the spectre. Okay, he's barely injured. That doesn't. What is it? Weak piercing. Damage reduction is not that great, but. Oh, you're stunned. Of course, you're stunned. You are not. Just
Ready, Watcher.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will not win this fight at all. Yeah, Pallegina is already dead. Apparently.
Huh?
Are you confused? No, you're blinded. Okay.
Someone!
And Pallegina is dead. So, are you seriously casting anything? Why haven't you cast that already? Yeah, we're dead. This is the last time I try. My plans are not really working as I had hoped. That is certain. The problem I do have at the moment is... Can I mark you as an enemy? No, not yet. I don't know why the Durance didn't cast his spell.
What?
When I asked. I know Alot was stunned. I don't know what happened with the Durance. You are going to attack the Spectre. I don't care anything else.
Yes.
So. So what is it you're resistant? Well, you're an Alpine Dragon. Well, let's get the wounding check going. Now, let's make you as an enemy, yeah? Now, did you cast... No, you're still not casting it. Why are you not? What is it? Weakened... Terrified. Okay, I guess that's the thing that is causing the problem. Okay. Pallegina, really dying too soon.
What?
This won't hit the guys at all. I don't know. Yeah, Pallegina is dead.
Yeah.
Great.
Bravery, who lead
Attack!
Yeah, we're dead. Let's see how far we can go, like so. Probably not too far. Actually, weird thing is he's badly injured. Actually, what the?
How may I help?
Just use your fireball. Come on, use your fireball. Well, don't use your fireball then. Heal, heal, heal. Did we just beat the bloody dragon? I don't know how we did that. I really don't. I don't know how that worked, but come on, heal, please. Now you're stunned. Of course you're stunned. Off. Shoot that.
This thing isn't doing the job.
You keep healing.
Attack!
Okay, are we... Can we please kill the Ice Blight? I don't know how we beat the dragon. I was fairly certain that we don't. I don't know how that worked. I don't know how that worked. I really don't. What is these? These are dragon meat. Didn't we get anything else? Primal. Okay, what do you have? You have Sabra Marie. I don't know if that's good or not compared what you have. Probably not. Have it. Black Sanctuary, minor spellbind. Whatever. Again, I don't know how that worked. I was already certain that we will die. So, I think Pallegina had the armor. We need to sleep here. Rest in Alpine Dragon's Lair after... Yes, we are gonna rest now. Rest. Also, bound upgrades completed. Triggered immunity. Immune to slash damage for 15 seconds. Once per encounter. That's... Okay. So, that was weird. I kind of, like I said, I don't know how we actually won. I think it's level 14 dragon. I'm not certain about it. I probably got lucky there, honestly, if I'm quite honest. Unfortunately, we can't get higher and see what we actually did. I don't feel like I really earned that win because it was ridiculous. Oh, there's... Wait. Oh,
let's go.
Good thing we didn't...
That's it.
Well, at least that made things easier. There were two spectres that didn't really aggro because we were right over here. I still don't know how I won. That's it. I still don't know. Where do we get the bog dragon scales? I don't know. I haven't met the bog dragon. Maybe it's somewhere on the Burial Hills. So, well, that's an interesting end to this episode. Again, I still don't know what happened there. Again, I'm playing in normal, so there's that. Of course, I'm fairly certain you don't do that on the harder difficulties, and you probably should plan it better than I did. Definitely, I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to test it out a little bit. I don't know if the level scaling affects on the dragon when you come to the White March. I have no idea. That could be one reason why it was easier. Maybe. Anyways. So... I'll jump to the heart song and I'll end the episode there, because next episode I'll have to take Hiravias with me. We'll do his quest. And then I probably go to the Morning Star. Where is it? Oh, great. So because I was traveling, he came and he left. Well, thank you, game. Thank you. I could have bought that, but apparently not. Anyways, so on next episode, I'll change to the Hiravias. We'll do his side quest. Then I'll probably go to the Burial Isle, check it around, clear it as much as I can. And after that, I'll take the God's Favor. Oh, well, return the God's quests and decide what God favor I will take. And then we'll go to the end game, hopefully. I don't know how long it will, but I'm fairly certain next episode will be the final episode. At least I hope so. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.